Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nerf Herder. I am doing a video just because I want to, I guess. This is, I'm sure some people are very tired of my love for the Corran Horn. I have been working on something for a long time, and it's finally starting to come to life, which is very exciting. I have a first ever hilt design that Jawa's Junkyard will be producing. So it's a collaboration with him. Leon's a good dude. He saw me a long time ago on one of these streams. People were asking me if I was ever going to do a hilt run, and I was like, I would love to. I have no clue how to go about it. So he was in the chat and he was like, hit me up, dude, let's talk. And that was exciting. So I have the hilt will be coming out soon. We're still working on that. But I was rereading recently Jedi, right? Love this book. This is, and I got a little Mara Jade signed. That's my bookmark. But love this book. In this book is where Corran builds that famous speeder bike style hilt, which, you know, I'm a huge fan of. The concept, I'm a huge fan of. The lore, the story's fun. I mean, the character's awesome. I love Corran. But my run with Jawa's, the Saber hilt, was called Corcus. It's called Corcus. Corcus is the planet that he builds it on, which would be his first built lightsaber. But my design, I really wanted to get as close to this book cover as possible with really not much to go on. So you got the concept is described in the book, which I highly recommend that you read this book. The concept is just cool in general. Like I said, it describes it. This is about, I believe this is pretty much the closest image that you're gonna get to what it really is. So my design, I really tried to go with that. But I have been spending years building my own interpretations, and there's plenty of interpretations out there, plenty of good builders out there. Ones who inspired me, like Nick Cohen, is how I found it, Starfall Sabers, Rob from Genesis Custom Sabers, his speeder is amazing. And of course, you know, you've got good builders like Nevin and Jeremy Moon and all my friends and people in my group and whatnot. But I've built a few over the years that were just, I mean, that's the fun of it, is scrap building it, getting scraps, whether it's MHS parts from the Custom Saber shop, or I use a lot of scratch and dent parts from Saber Forge, scratch and dent sales, mix those with scrap parts. I mean, that's the fun of the hilt, was scrapping it together. So I have a few that I'm going to show off real quick. These are the ones in my collection that are installed. Now that's not to say I don't have like 7 or 8 more, but these are the ones that are installed. I'm going to start off in no particular order, but we're going to go with this one, which a lot of people really enjoy. So again, like I said, I think a lot of people might miss the fact that it needs to kind of hit some cues in order for it to be considered a Corran. I mean, you can't just pick up a Saber and be like, this is a speeder bike. I mean, like it's like you gotta hit the few cues that it's got. But most importantly, it's gotta look like the handle is from a speeder bike. I mean, it gets kind of loose. People kind of stretch the what a speeder bike handle would look like. But yeah, just try and nail that as best you can, I guess. So this one right here, it's a mix in my collection of CFX and Profi. Leaning a lot more towards Profi lately, but most of these are CFX. Really good mix. But this one, again, like I said, this is one I tried to get really crazy with, and I tried to go all over on the emitter and make it uncomfortable and unwieldy. And I thought this was going to be the one that I did dislike the most, and it's one everyone seems to like a lot. Let's go ahead and fire it on. Very loud. Got that silver blade. Smuggler's Outpost 28mm Elite speaker. This is Durnfire by Lord Blocko. Durnfire is the crystal that he has in his Saber. There's in Corran's Saber is dual phase crystals, so you have 3 crystals. One's a focus, which is the diamond, and then the other one is the emerald, and then you have Durn Fire, the Durn Fire crystal, and the 2 crystals rotate alignments, and that's what changes the length of his blade for the dual phase. Also changes the color. So the normal color is silver, but when he switches that dual phase, it goes to a purple, and it gets longer. There's lots of sound fonts for these too. I have a sound font that I had collaborated with Jesse, Carbophonic Fonts. I did Son of Corellia, which is the name of the group, Sons of Corellia, which is a take on, you know, Sons of Anarchy, speeder bikes, Sons, all that fun stuff. So let's go to that font.
You're in fire. Corellia. Son of Corellia.
I got took off the preons on this one. Whoop. Really enjoy that one. And then also Corellian. Let's go to Corellian. Corellian by Genesis Custom Sabers. That's his dual phase effect, which is cool. Ooh, that's loud. I have videos on all of these sabers too. I might do a blade demo on some of these, but some of them don't know. Really enjoy the chassis on this one. Fully removable chassis, 28mm smoker's outpost, crystal focus, upside down, because that's how I like to do it. And let's swap that battery out. Next up, this one's really fun. This is another scratch and dent. They're all scratch and dent, really. Well, for the most part. It's mix and match, like I said. So this one I modeled after the Solos Hold Maverick. I've always really enjoyed that saber. Just a really cool concept that they came up with. It's actually the grip. It's actually like a 1-to-1 of the speeder bike on Endor in Return of the Jedi. So it's, you know, it's here. It's got the switch guard. Goes down there. I wanted to pay a heavy homage to that. At the time I asked Aaron of Solos Hold if that was cool. This is for me, this is mine, just to kind of my love letter to their design. So one thing I did on this guy, and I do for a lot of them when it's a Profi build, I love to put external kill switches on Profi board sabers, just because it's easy to turn on and off from outside. You don't have to open the body, flip a switch, or open the body and put a battery in. So I also just thought it was really cool to have it like actually on the outside for a speeder, because you just turn it on like that. This is Durn Fire again. I'm gonna go ahead and put a blade in this one. I have a little 1-inch demo blade. Gotta get silver here. Again, that silver blade. This one's a little bit more muffled just because of all this stuff going on. And I actually push switch down there. There we go, Son of Corellia, with the Breon this time. This is a Profi board. I do enjoy this one. This is the more dirty one. I wanted junk, I wanted rust, I wanted nastiness. Some of them are different, but...
You're in fire.
Only a few of them. And then you just flip that guy off. This one I made a almost identical copy for Jeremy of Solo Sabers. He wanted me to make him a custom. This was a while back. And he was like, whatever you want to do. And I was like, bro, I'm going to make you a Corran Horn. So he designed a chassis and sent me one. I forget what this is printed in, but it's very durable. I forget the material, man. Yeah, you got your Profi board right there. It's very, very small. This is a tight install, so thanks, bro, for the chassis. All right, next up, I'm gonna do this guy right here since we were talking about Jeremy anyways. This is another one I did that Jeremy installed. This is one of the few, it's rare that I get a hilt installed and I get to be the fan and get to watch. But we traded services and, you know, I can't remember what I did for him, if it was a weathering job or something, or I built him a hilt, something. So we traded services to where he did the chassis and install and all that stuff. And again, this was a tight one. So that's the nature of some of these scrap builds. You know, like you just work with what you got, and it can be kind of tricky to install some of these. And back then I was not very, well, I wasn't even doing my own chassis back then. But this one, I'm always really interested to see what people like. Yes, it's just got a removable. I was interested to see what people like for my collection, and I got to see firsthand. There we go. Firsthand when I did the meetup with my friends, Jeremy and all them, and yeah, Jesse, Kyberphonic Fonts. This was his favorite Saber that I brought, and I was very surprised at that. Always really interesting to see what everyone's favorites are. So this one has a dark side speaker in it. Another Sonic Relia. I really do enjoy this one. It's, again, different. These are all, you know, you play with it. Play with the design as long as it looks like it could be the handle part. I like to put little gears and stuff. These little rubber gears I like to slap on them. These are all pretty much the same fonts, I've realized. I mean, there's not many speeder fonts out there. So. Put some regular fonts on there sometimes just because.
You're in fire.
They're in fire. Yeah, I need to mess with the timing on that one. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, I love red buttons. I just love red buttons. And I thought this one was going to be very uncomfortable. It's really not. It is extremely comfortable. I mean, obviously you got to grip around the box and the buttons, but when you do, you're good. I think that's why Jesse really liked it. Let's go now to the Saber Merchant one. So the Saber Merchant Speeder, I don't have a blade plug in there. It's in my other one that I'm about to show off. This Saber Merchant Speeder was gifted to me by the Saber Merchant, Jeremy. And for the longest time, I did not know what I wanted to do with it. And eventually, I was like, let's just get wild. So I focused heavily on modifying the emitter and just putting everything in the scrap bin on this thing. I don't know why, but it was fun. And it's another one that I was like, cool, you know what I mean? When I was done with it, I was like, it feels good, looks good, I'm happy with it. And this is one that a lot of people gravitated towards. So very, very tight install. One of the best sounding sabers I have too. It's just one of those magics that happened with the spacer and the speaker. And the chassis is fun. This is one that I really went wild on. Removable, fully removable chassis. Let's take this guy and whoop. Oh yeah, it's just CFX install. One button on this one. I didn't go crazy. In hindsight, I would like to have done the 2-button, but see that? You know what? Very, very good sounding one. Yeah. It's definitely small. It's a one-hander. I need to get the blade to have red, you know, like, because with silver in person you can kind of see it. With the white, see? You can kind of see him dancing. It ain't much though. Whoop. Oh yeah, Saber's Forever font. This is one of the first speeder fonts that I ever had. It's pretty wild, man. There's a lot going on there. We're flying through them. Very fun. I don't know if Jeremy has any more of these. Yeah, I'm not sure if he has any more of those. Next up is another one of my favorites. I really like this one. It's a little different. I mean, they're all different. That's the fun part about it. Getting kind of crazy with the design, but this one I wanted to model it after you know, the original, the first gen Genesis Custom Saber Speeder, and also Nick. Nick did a lot of the same motif honoring that, so I wanted to take kind of that same overall length and aesthetic, because sometimes, you know, they're one-handers, but it'd be two-handers. Again, as long as it resembles a speeder bike handle, that's pretty much the only thing you gotta really nail for it to pass. Even though, you know, some emitters are kind of crazy, because, you know, it does talk about the emitter and whatnot. It's supposed to be a, you know, a flash suppressor type thing. So, but what I did with this one was I wanted to put Luke cues in it because of you know, Corran going to Luke's new Jedi Order, Jedi Academy on Yavin 4. So I did the clamp card, which is a lot like Luke's, and then I wanted to do 2 blinking accent lights to kind of pay homage to the hero in a way. So it's not red and green because I wanted to try out yellow, but you get the gist. This one's fun too because Jeremy did the chassis for me way back in the day, and he wrote Nerf Herder Customs on one side, which was cool, and then on the other side he decided to write "Your Mom Says Hi" in Arabic. So what a give. But I do really enjoy this one. This one's definitely a favorite of mine. And because I got that clamp, the Canon Y clamp up here, and the buttons just feel great. I'm trying really fast to just kind of go down the line. Again, these are just the installed ones. I have some that have been gutted and some that are on the way. Yeah, this one I heat stained the emitter shroud. Let's do Corellian. Got those blinking lights I was talking about. I don't need much, but that does make me feel good. It's like dual phase. That's my head cannon. That's his dual phase. Switch alignments, you know. Very crisp. That's a very crisp one. One more, and we're gonna call it. So this is just spur of the moment and fun. This one is the most recent that I did. Most recent video too. May need a charge. I played with it quite a bit. This one I wanted to go a little smaller, and I want to go a little cleaner than normal. It still has, you know, some weathering and some heat staining and whatnot, but this one I definitely went a little different because I wanted to maximize that speaker potential, so I went with an in-hilt battery. All right. Chassis is a lot of fun, and again, some of these obviously you can tell the chassis game has changed, as it should, and it does. CFX board upside down, cry about it. And then yeah, 28 millimeter Smoker's Outpost speaker, 2.1 millimeter recharge port. Batteries housed up in here. I think it's just a normal TCSS connector because I'm cheap, and I had tons of them. 2 switches up here. Let's wake her up. Super great sound. Because I was right about that speaker. Sucker shotguns. That silver blade. Oh, it's fun. Yeah, baby. There you go, right? There's my little bit of speeder handle. Kind of looks like a bike type deal. Kind of like the short emitters with the gears. It's just my motif, I guess. But why not? God, you can feel it. You hold it right here, you can feel the whole hilt rumble. And each swing, you can feel the hilt just alive. And all these Corran speeders, these Corran horns, all these are in my, you know, they all have separate videos and whatnot. In my playlist on this channel, you can find them all, and I have a Corran folder for everyone. That's something I've done. Love this one. I made it a 7/8 inch. I love a 7/8 inch. The size of this thing. This is easily the most fun. One of the most fun. Just because you can actually hold it with 2 hands very comfortably. And it sounds phenomenal. Gotta love a dual phase, man. Those blinkies dancing. Alright, there we go. So again, if you haven't, I highly suggest reading Jedi. It's a great book. I've been so excited about my my run with Jawa's Junkyard on the speeder that I picked the book up, and I've been flying through it, and I'm like, man, I forgot. It's been a minute. It's always good for a refresher. like I said, man, if y'all haven't picked up this book, you want to learn about the character and all that, there you go. And then, yeah, man, that guy right there, if you guys follow me on my social media and whatnot, I've posted the renders that we came up with, and I can't wait to get it in. Obviously, there'll be lots of videos on that. Yeah, that was fun. I just want to show off the ones that I have installed in my collection. Again, I've got like 6 or 7 more just not installed. But yeah, people have been asking about it, and I was like, that'd be fun to do a real quick video, which turned into probably more than a half hour. But thank you guys so much, and until Corcus comes out, may the force be with you.
Stuck up, half-witted, scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Scruffy looking.